Hello, wonderful person. This is Chris for the Informed Stoner, and it's Friday morning and time for a morning report. This report comes from Reuters.com. Mexican cartel says sorry for attack on Americans, bodies returned to U.S. Now, this is a story we've been covering about the poor folks who went across the border and had a run in with the cartel. Suspected drug cartel members on Thursday handed over 5 purported henchmen as a would-be apology for the abduction of 4 Americans in the border city of Matamoros, according to media and source familiar with the investigation. 2 of the Americans and a Mexican woman, died after gunmen opened fire on the U.S. citizens shortly after their arrival in Matamoros on Friday. The 4 Americans were found on Monday on the edge of the city, by which time 2 of them were already dead. Unfortunately, it's sad to have any of our citizens die. Mexican officials gave the bodies of the 2 dead men, identified as Shaid Woodward and Zindel Brown, to the U.S. officials in Matamoros on Thursday afternoon, and they were taken across the border into the U.S., as Reuters witness said. An internal government document seen by Reuters indicated that a faction of the Mexican Gulf Cartel was likely responsible for the kidnappings, and that the gunmen may have believed that the Americans were encroaching on the gang's turf. Mexican newspapers and social media published photos of a letter attributed to a different faction of the cartel in which it apologized for the events in Matamoros and said it was handing over 5 men who were involved in the kidnappings. Now, I want to know who they're handing those over to. They're handing them over to the Mexican authorities, or they're handing them over to American authorities. The letter was left alongside 5 men with their hands tied in Matamoros. The photos showed the Mexican source familiar with the investigation confirmed the handover, expressing skepticism that 5 are the ones responsible for the attack. That's, very possible. Who knows who these guys are? And if they're getting sent over to the Mexican police, who knows what'll actually happen, right? I don't know. The Attorney General Office of Tamaulipas, the state where Matamoros lies, declined to comment on the reports. Separately, the state's Attorney General's office said an investigation indicated that the Americans were taken by their kidnappers to a clinic where they're given medical attention. At least they were given some medical attention. I mean, does it make up for anything? No, obviously not. But, I guess it could have been worse. Bad enough as it was. The Mexican source said the evidence suggested Woodward and Brown probably died from the injuries they suffered during the attack by the gunmen in Matamoros on Friday. The 2 surviving companions returned to the U.S. earlier this week. Tamaulipas Attorney General said on Monday the abduction of the 4 was likely a case of mistaken identity, but authorities have yet to clearly set out reasons for the attack. Again, this has been a horrible story all along. We don't ever want to see anything like this. It's sad. But what do y'all think? Leave a comment below. Do you think that these guys are going to be the legit dudes that did it? Do you think it's all above board on the table? I mean, what do you think's going on here? But like and subscribe, and try to have a great Friday morning.